I'm Nick, and this is my true story. So, same night, I prayed for the guy with the blind eye on the other side of the room, like probably almost at the same time. My buddy Mike was praying for this guy, I believe the name was Marcos, and he had walked in and he had like a little walker. But Marcos' story was he was from Japan. And I think he had just moved to Brazil, or he was like visiting his family, but his profession was breakdancing and being a professional snowboarder. So like awesome stuff. Like I would love to be him one day. But anyways, he had gotten in a car accident, and he had been paralyzed from the neck down, and he had to be rushed to the hospital for surgery, like crazy surgery. And then what he was telling us was, first surgery, he went down, he was visited by Jesus, and he wasn't a Christian at this point. So Jesus like personally went to this guy, Marcos, and was like, hey, I'm the savior. Like, I'm Jesus, you should believe in me. Like kind of sharing the gospel, Jesus sharing his own gospel. And Marcos wakes up and immediately gives his life to Christ, which was just like crazy. Didn't even care like his body condition. He just like gave his life to Jesus. And then I think it was about a month later, they had planned to go into another surgery for his lower half. And again, he goes under, visited by Jesus, and it was just like, he didn't tell us anything about that. He just said, yeah, and then Jesus showed up again. And I was like, okay, tight, man, like, that's cool. And then he wakes up, and he has some mobility in his legs, not complete mobility, though. So he can't hold his body weight with his legs, hence why he had to get the walker. And he's going through physical therapy, and I think it was about 3 to 4 months that this like whole thing was going down. So he had like gotten out of the second surgery, he was seeing some progress, and then at like the 4-month mark until about the 9-month mark, so almost for about 5 months, no progress at all. Like he was just on the walker, like, why aren't my legs healing? And he was telling us that, he'd just come to know Christ, and he had began to believe the lie that this walker was his cross to bear for Christ, right? It's like some punishment, I don't know, that he felt like he needed to atone for, and this is the way he was going to atone for it, was being handicapped the rest of his life. Man, it was just like, wow, that's a big lie, man. Like, that's not God's heart for you. So after Mike heard that story, he like poured in to Marcos's life or heart of just like, that is not like true. Like, that is a lie. Like, you don't need to bear this cross, of being paralyzed. It's like, that's ridiculous. And so before they even prayed, like Marcos like kind of gave that cross up, he like surrendered that cross to the Lord. And then that's when they started praying, right? So Mike started praying for him, and it was like a gradual increase of mobility back in his legs. So about 20 minutes pass, and Marcos is sitting down, and I don't know what came over him. He was just like, yeah, I want to get up and walk. So he tried it out. He was a little wobbly, and he hadn't walked in 9 months, so he didn't really, I'm sure he had no idea how to walk, trying to get all his balance back and all that jazz. But he like some people like helped him walk across and then back, and then eventually he was just walking around by himself. And so like 20 minutes go by, and he's at the point of, yeah, I think I've got this walking thing back under control. I'm just gonna walk around the church a couple times. So he's just walking around the sanctuary, and Mike was telling me he was just watching him, and it was just like such a cool story.